All right, in our second fight of the main card of the pay-per-view, we got Uriah Hall coming against Chris Weidman in a rematch 9 years in the making, man. This one's set at a pick'em, which is kind of crazy to some people, but might not be so crazy as we get into it. Uriah Hall coming off our 16-9 record, coming off a win, his last fight with Anderson Silva, where he did stop him in the fourth round. He wasn't looking too good in those first 3 rounds. I mean, if it was a 3-round fight, it would be safe to say Anderson would have won that fight, man. An old Anderson would have won that fight, but can't really put too much into that. Anderson is great. Anderson's a great counter striker. Uriah knew what he was doing, so maybe he just waited for the kill shot. Fight before that, coming in with Antonio Carlos Jr., did win a split there. A lot of people weren't happy with that decision. They thought Antonio got that. He did spend a lot of time on his back. Antonio was a heavy grappler on that. Didn't give too much space for him to work. Other than that, I did hear in a recent interview with Uriah and leading into it, and maybe why that gave him so much trouble. That's his friend. I didn't know it. That was one of his close friends. And maybe that was just messing with his head. We all know Uriah Hall is a bit of a head case. His head got to be in it for him to perform right. And maybe that was just one of those ones. And besides all that, the man did get the nod. Right before that, the fight before that, he did knock out Bevon Lewis. Before that, he did lose to Paulo Costa, in which a fight he was rocking Paulo in that one too. That was a great back and forth fight. I mean, we can just go back and forth on his record, man. Man's got knockouts for days.
I mean, when I seen this, I've been looking forward to this fight for months. I had this one circled on the calendar, and the main reason is to place my bet here. When I seen that this was a pick'em, my eyes got big. Now, reason being is, I mean, we got Uriah 17-9 going against Chris Weidman 15-5. Weidman, the old All-American champ. He hit his streak when he was knocking out Anderson Silva, back to back. It's just as of now, when he stepped up to light heavyweight, and since he's returned back to middleweight, I mean, he's just so slow and he looks so old. And I haven't been impressed with what I've seen of him lately. He did squeak out that decision win against Omari Akhmedov back in December. But it's just Weidman looks so slow, and I feel like no head movement. I feel like Uriah Hall is just gonna tee off on that man's face, and for some people that's still their boy, but I don't see it happening. At a pick'em, I'm all over Hall on this. Now, one thing about Uriah, man, is this guy is, first of all, tremendous reach, 79.5. He's just beat Spider, as you mentioned. Now I think Spider looked great in that fight leading up until that KO, but he's fought everybody. Now, mind you, that his very first loss did come to Chris Weidman. Now that was back in 2010. Now this is 11 years later. So they're obviously two totally different guys now. But out of 17 wins, 14 of them coming by knockout for Uriah Hall. 2 submissions with 4 decisions. 5 of his defeats coming by decision, 4 by knockout. But he is on a 3-fight win streak. When it comes to Weidman, he's another one that's fought the who. He fought Dominic Reyes. He did get knocked out in that fight. Got knocked out to Jacare. He did got a big win against Gaslam. And then we got Flying Knee also back in 2016 by Yoel. But he did beat Vitor. He did beat Machida. Spider twice. Damian Maia. So, I mean, the guy's not a chump, but I just think his days has passed him. So.
And those knockouts that he did suffer, like the Yoel knockout, the flying knee, those are devastating knockouts, man. The Musasi, the knee that he took to the floor, I don't know how devastating that was because it's his acting performance, and I don't know, man. We could see that one. The Jacare one, that overhand, that was crazy. Dominic Reyes flattened him. So, like, he's been taking some nasty knockouts. Now, in his last fight with Akhmedov, that was just two men just grappling, man. They were just going at it, and Akhmedov is one of those Dagestani dudes. Tough, built like a tank, it can go forever. Now, this is, and just looking at it now, I see now on the odds, Weidman's a minus 130 favorite on BetOnline, and Uriah Hall's a plus 110. So he's squeaking up, man. I think more people are starting to dig into this and thinking it's gonna be either two ways. It's gonna be pretty simple and cut and dry. Either Uriah's getting the knockout, or
Weidman's getting the decision.
And
you know, and the thing is Weidman's gonna go that route because he definitely don't want to stand with Uriah Hall. Who does? He's gonna try to get this to the ground. The problem that I have is just that there's no head movement in this man whatsoever, and I think he's gonna get teed off on. Rather it's by some quick strikes or a big knee. If Weidman does happen to get him down, and he will keep him down for the round, he's gonna have to do that for 3 rounds. And I feel like somewhere in there, something's going to land for Uriah. I hope this line keeps going towards Weidman because I'm all in on Uriah. I'm going straight on Uriah. So I'm gonna even keep him out of my parlays. I'm going big on Hall. I know some people have different opinion on that, and there is a path to victory with Weidman grinding out this victory. I think Uriah with a big knockout.
Now, even though it was 11 years ago, I mean, he was supposed to wrestle him down the first time, and he did knock him out. So let's keep that in mind that he might still think he can do it this time, which would be a terrible mistake. It would be a terrible mistake. Leading into that, he has moved to South Carolina with Wonder Boy. Kind of showed in his last fight with Akhmedov where he was kind of jumping around side to side. Hands down, no head movement. So if he tries that at all with Uriah, it is going to be nasty. It would be another nasty knockout. So, I mean, it got to be a perfect fight for Weidman. Just rinse and repeat, take down City. That's the only way he's going to win. It's very possible. It is possible. It is a path to victory.
Definitely.
I don't see it happening too much. I don't know, man. I would probably play Uriah knockout all day, especially if these odds keep going up there. Just keep juicing that line and take Uriah by knockout. What's the under going to be set at? It's got to be at 2.5, right? If the bookies are thinking that, if we're thinking that, yeah, it's set at 2.5.
Yeah,
of course, man. It's gonna be one or the other. It's either going to be Chris is going to go out there, rinse and repeat. Who knows? We could be even setting up for a draw. You know, I love my dollar draws. We could even be setting up for a dollar draw here where Weidman wins the first 2 rounds and Uriah just, pummels them and gets a 10-8. So that's always live, man. I always like those little fun ones. So just that's something to keep in mind of.
It is possible. 2 different styles here. Going head to head. Like I said, rematch 11 years in the making. Should be a great fight. Hoping for this Uriah Hall. At least my pockets are.